In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to create killer Loom videos so that high ticket businesses actually want to interview you instead of just taking a look at them for 3 seconds and deleting your application. So in this video, I'm going to go through an exact script and outline for how to go through your videos. Now, I'm not saying at all, follow this word for word, follow this line for line, copy this bar for bar. Don't do that, because what that's going to do is turn everyone who watches this video into a robot who submits the same Loom video. But use this as a framework for sending solid Loom videos out to businesses. Now, I'll get into the specifics in a second, but the first thing that I want to go over, I want to add 2 small points here. So, well, 4 small points, but there's 2 major ones. Intro first, right? That's the first piece of your Loom video. Background second, / experience is second, relation to offer is third, and then the call to action is last. This is the framework. This is how you create a Loom video. You introduce yourself, very brief, very short, very sharp. You cover your background and experience, high level overview, not detailed, I did this, then I did that, then I moved to this, then I got hired here. No, it's high level, right? Keep it summary of general pieces of your experience. The third is your relation to the offer. How do you show this business that you're the best fit for them? And the fourth and the final, very important, is a call to action. Actually conclude your video with a call to action instead of just concluding it like everyone else does. So I'll get into the specifics, but this is the framework. Now, 60 to 90 seconds, another thing, big thing to keep in mind. I'll actually come down here. Keep it short, 60 to 90 seconds. That's very important. The second a recruiter or a business manager clicks on your Loom video and it's 17 minutes long, the quicker they put it in 2.5x speed and don't hear a word that you say, or worse yet, they just delete your application, don't even look at it because you're trying to waste their time, right? So 60 to 90 seconds, that's your exact framework. You don't go out of that. You don't be shorter than that because you're being a little bit too short. You could maybe go to 45, 50 seconds. That's okay. You don't really want to go over 60. You don't really want to go over a minute and a half. If you do, never, ever, ever any longer than 2 minutes. Now, this is with the exception of businesses that ask you specific questions, right? Film a Loom video telling us about this, and this. If that's the case, you don't follow this framework. So I want to make that very clear. Now, dress clean and professional. You want to match the company's vibe here. If I'm applying to a business that helps corporate executives and C-suite level individuals, I'm not going to dress up in a t-shirt with the chain and the cap, right? If I'm applying for a B2C, e-com coaching offer, like I'm dressed right now is fine. If I'm applying to that more high level offer, I probably want to be in a button down shirt, at least a polo, ideally a proper button down shirt, maybe even the tie. You want to dress the part, right? You want to match the company's vibe. Use good lighting and a tidy background. Get a lamp in front of you, like I have one right here, shining on your face. Have good lighting on your face. Make sure that your background is also decently well lit. Make sure that your background is tidy and neat behind you. You want your Loom videos never to be like I'm doing right now, right? I guess you could look at it as a little bit hypocritical, but you don't want your Loom videos to be you sharing your screen. You want your Loom videos to be you, just your face. You don't need to be showing them your resume. You don't need to be sharing their company website in the background, nothing like that. Show them just you, because that's what prospects see on a Zoom call. This Loom video is a representation of what are people in my company going to see when they get on a closing call with Jackson, right? My Loom video is that. That's what the businesses look at. That's their first impression of you. That's their expectation of how you're going to show up on calls. So everything in this Loom video should match that expectation, right? So make sure your background is tidy. Don't have your bed in the background with an unmade bed. Don't have your dirty laundry around. Don't have your girlfriend sleeping in the bed behind you. Keep it neat. Keep it tidy. You don't want, like, the overarching kind of thing here is you don't want your background to be distracting from you. If I'm looking in your background like, what is going on there? Like, what's behind him right there? That means your background is too distracting, right? So make sure that you've got a tidy background. Now, speak clearly and simple. Your energy matters more than the polish. I like this line because it's highly important, right? if you are able to speak articulately and confidently and with high energy, you are likely going to have a better chance of landing a role than the guy with all the experience in the world who talks like this and is a little bit muffled and, you know, doesn't show very much confidence, right? That is a very important piece of this. So make sure that you're coming in with high energy, good energy. It's not as important as having all of the, it is more important as having all the experience, in my opinion. Now, don't overthink it. Practice a couple of times, then hit the record button, right? You don't need to sit there for 5 million years and make sure that you got the perfect script. You just need to have an outline. I'm going to cover this, 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 and this in my video. Bang, hit record and go through the process, right? Like you don't want to be sitting there, paralysis by analysis, thinking for a million years about what your Loom video is going to look like. Because when you're doing that, your Loom video is going to come out very rigid, very robotic, very awkward. And that's the last thing you want with your Loom video, right? So don't overthink it. Just dive in. You're better off recording 100 times until you get the perfect take than sitting there for 500 times worth of recording until you get the perfect, framework for your Loom video, because it's still not going to be perfect after that, right? Finally, the most important piece of Loom videos, specific Looms. You don't want to record a general Loom video that you send to everyone. When you do that, you end up sending a Loom video that's got 57 views on it and it's literally like you've been run through at that point, right? Your Loom video has been run through by all of the businesses that are hiring in the world. And the second I click on that, I'm like, okay, well, clearly 57 other people weren't interested in hiring this guy. Why would I hire him, right? That's what I'm thinking when I see a Loom video with all of those views on it. And also, you're not giving yourself the best chance possible to actually represent why you are a good fit for this business, this company, in this niche, selling to these people, right? You can't show a business, I'm the right guy for you for these reasons, because it's a general video. All you're able to show them is this is why I'm a good sales rep. Right? And businesses don't care why you're a good sales rep. They care why you're a good sales rep for my company. So you need to show that in your Loom videos. And we're going to get into exactly how to do that now. So I've got 5 pieces here. Realistically, realistically, no, actually it's 4. I've got the numbers wrong here. It's 4 pieces here. And these 4 that I went over. So the introduction, right? The introduction is very brief. It's 5 seconds. Hey, I'm Jackson. I'm based out of Toronto. I'm super excited to be your next closer, right? It's super short, super sweet. That's all it is, right? You want to say, hey, ideally you want to address the person watching the video, the business owner's name or the business's team, right? Let's say for the sake of this video, I'm going to be applying to Ecom Coaching 101, right? Hey, Ecom Coaching 101 team, I'm Jackson Bardsley, based out of Toronto. And then this final piece is an interest line, right? I'm so excited to be your next killer closer. Or after this video, you're going to know why I'm going to crush it for you as a closer, right? I'm super excited to work with your team. Just something that's a little bit interesting. That isn't just, I saw you were hiring for this role in this community. Like, I don't care. I don't care, right? I want some excitement, some energy, right? Show them why they should care to listen to the rest of your video. The first 5 seconds of your Loom, in general, the most important. Because if your energy is off, even just slightly, businesses will not be interested. They won't move forwards with you. So make sure that your introduction is absolute fire. Now, number 2, your background and experience. This is going to be a little... This is going to be about 20 to 30 seconds, right? Like I said, this is high level. You want to highlight your experience, regardless of your position, whether it was sales experience or not, highlight your experience. We're going to focus on a couple of things. Duration spent, right? Let's say for this example, I've spent, 5 years as an account manager in a corporate SaaS company, right? 5 years of experience, that's the duration. Industry is in tech, SaaS, whatever the niches were, right? Client value. Now, this is going to be determined by a couple of things, right? I speak about this a lot, and you can watch a bunch of my other videos to understand this a little bit more, but essentially there's 3 pieces of business, right? Marketing, sales, fulfillment. You fall in one of them. Regardless of whether you're a server or a bartender, you're a sales rep, you're an account manager, you're a client success manager, you're a coach, whatever it is, right? You fall in one of those 3 categories, either marketing, either sales or fulfillment, right? So regardless of where you fall, the value of the clients that you're either as a marketer bringing into the business, as a sales rep closing for the business, or as a fulfillment individual, right, fulfilling on for the business, that is value that you're helping contribute to. So the client value is a really important number. Then other numbers, other achievements, other metrics, right? But the client value is one that you can speak about regardless of kind of where you come from, right? If you're a copywriter with a marketing background, you're generating leads, you're booking appointments, you're helping bring clients into the business. So the value of those clients is a number and a metric you can speak about. If you're an account manager, right? In this example, I have 5 years of experience I have 5 years of experience in the tech and SaaS space. Over that time, I dealt with a client pipeline of about $17 million. Right? That's the client value. That's how I speak about my experience. We don't need to go into the specifics of, I was an account manager and I did this and I did that. And I'm trying not to sound like a dickhead, but like, you don't want to talk about all of the stuff that you did and, it applies to sales here and it applies to sales there. Just talk about the numbers. Get them interested in you from an energy perspective and a numbers and value perspective that they watch the rest of your video. You don't need to tell them your whole life story in terms of work. So this is the example of how you go over it, right? Over the last X amount of years or months, I've worked across these industries, right? The tech and SaaS industries. Over the last 5 months, I've worked across the tech and SaaS space. During this time, client values, numbers, achievements, right? I worked on and helped maintain a pipeline of $17 million worth in client value, working with high-level corporate executives and individuals with the companies that we were partnered with, right? That's me speaking about my experience. If I was a corporate tech SaaS account manager, right? If I was a copywriter or a marketer of some sort, right? I helped generate X amount in total pipeline value for X amount of business in X industry over X time, right? It's the same concept. If I was a sales rep, you talk about your sales numbers, right? Over the last 4 years, I've generated $3 million worth in cash collected across the e-com and SaaS space, right? Whatever it is, it's the same framework. Now, how you speak about client value, numbers, and achievements will depend on your past, as I've gone through. If you're experienced in sales, you mentioned your revenue generated, your close rates, your KPI and quota attainment, all that kind of stuff. If not, you can connect with me. You can work with me. Link down in the description to cover this kind of stuff. If I'm already working with you, you can drop me a message. So, number 3. Now, this is the most important part. That's why it's the longest part. 30 to 40 seconds of your Loom video should be covering why this company. Now, this is not for you to say, I love that you do this and I love that stuff about your video and I love all of this stuff that you talk about and how you run your business. The business doesn't need you to tell them how great their company is. Right? You can get on an interview, you can do whatever you want, you can tell a business how great they are. That gives them zero reason to hire you, right? Maybe the huge ego businesses are gonna like that a little bit, or not businesses, business owners, right? And sales managers are gonna love that because they're like, oh yeah, this guy's, stroking me like that. But most people aren't gonna like that, right? Most people are gonna go, this guy has given us zero reason to hire him. So your job is to show why this company is a fit for you, and why you are a fit for that company. What I mean by that is you want to firstly show that you've done your research. You want to mention your connection to the business, which comes in one of 3 ways. And again, I talk about this a lot, plenty of other videos on my channel. You can go over this in more, high detail, but essentially, we want to show that we are the person for the job, right? I'm the man for the job. I'm the guy for this business. I'm the guy for this role, due to our ability to fit with the prospect or team by showing the way in which we either empathize, understand, and connect with the prospects of the offer, right? That's option number 1. And there's 2 ways we can do this. I'll talk about that in a second. Or the way that we connect with and align with the founder, business, and vision, right? So either we connect with the prospects or we connect with the business. One of the 2. We have to demonstrate this. Now, the top way to do this is to connect with the prospects on a direct level, right? Personal experience. I believe I would crush it selling for 101 ecom coaching, right? Because previously, I've tried to start my own ecom business, right? I lost about $2,000 on marketing and trying to set up a store and doing all of this stuff. And I know how difficult it is for the people getting on these calls and the position they're in trying to start their ecom businesses. I've personally failed with it. And so I want to be able to help people make that leap. And I know how to bring out their pain in these sales conversations and show them the pathway to solving that through working with one-on-one ecom coaching, because I wish I could have done that. I wish I had the opportunity. I'm going to absolutely crush it selling this to other people, right? We speak from personal experience, showing that we empathize with, understand, and connect with the prospects of the business, right? I understand it because I am this person. Now, the second way we can do this, because we're not always going to have personal experience and alignment with the prospects. The example I give for this, for me personally, right? I'm a 22-year-old man. I'm not a 40-year-old woman going through menopause. So for offers that sell fitness coaching and health coaching to 40-year-old women who are going through menopause, I can't say I personally relate to them because I don't. What I can say is I've seen my mom, or I've seen my aunt, or I've seen my sister, I've seen a co-worker or whoever, a third-party individual in my life, in my circle, struggle with this thing. They've had this pain. I empathize with them, and therefore I can empathize with these prospects. So we do the same thing we did for number one, right? From a personal perspective, but just from a third-party perspective. I know I would absolutely crush it selling for 101 menopause fitness coaching, because I've seen my mom struggle with her health and fitness, and it took her probably about 5 or 6 years to get through that kind of process to a point where she has really consistent health and wellness in her life. And I would love to help people make that transition a lot faster. I know how much she would have benefited from investing in 101 menopause fitness coaching. And so I want to be able to help other people make that transition. And I understand the pain and the struggles they're dealing with, and the struggles their family members are probably dealing with as well, because I can speak from that perspective. And so I know I can crush it closing these deals, right? And that this isn't the exact way you talk about it, but this is the frame which you want to be thinking and speaking about in this Loom video, right? So this is that's option number 2, and this is the general framework. Again, I don't want to give you a specific script because then everyone's going to sound the fucking same. So that's kind of the framework, right? I know I'd crush it for XYZ company because here's my specific connection to you, right? So that's that. Now, the final way, and this is the least preferred in my mind, it's just not as ideal, but you can connect with the founder, the business, and the vision, right? So you can connect with the founder's story, how they got into whatever industry they're in and what they did. You can connect with the business and the vision and the mission statement or whatever, right? This is where you can show that you've done your research. You can connect with their testimonials and the way that they've helped people and their case studies and whatever else. And you show them, I've done this research. I really love XYZ things that you guys show and you guys talk about. And this gives me the utmost confidence in being able to sell this product and being able to absolutely crush it and have huge conviction selling this product. And therefore I'm going to be able to do it, right? That's the third option. You can speak about, business founder connection. So those are the ways that you show a business how you relate to their company. And this is the most important piece, because if you can't do this, a business has zero reason to hire you. I could be the greatest sales rep in the world. I could have all the experience under my belt, but realistically, if I have zero way to empathize with or connect with a business or its prospects, I'm not going to be able to sell for them, right? Sure, you could, but you're not going to be able to sell as good as someone who does, right? Who has that connection, in my personal opinion. And business owners see that and they notice that and they recognize that. So that's the most important thing here. I literally just got a message from a guy today, speaking about this. So he, originally he didn't have any experience, no sales experience at all. He only had experience like actually starting an e-com business himself and running it up and, making a decent amount of money. And he was getting into high ticket closing. And he reached out to me and was like, Jackson, I've got no experience, right? I've got no experience at all, but I really love this offer. I've been in this industry. I understand it. And so I just told him, like, apply and speak to those points, right? Speak to the revenue you generated in this industry, the success that you had, and the trials and tribulations that were a part of that process that allowed you to get there eventually, right? And when you do that, you then show this company, this guy understands the prospects and can close these deals regardless of experience. And he's crushing it over there. He's helping that business break records right now. He's doing 10K months. That is the position you want to be in. And you don't need to have experience to show it. You just need to be able to relate to the avatar. And that's why in this part, like, you just talk regardless of whatever it was. You just talk about your experience regardless of whether it was sales or not, because this is the most important piece of the video. You just need to get their interest in these first two pieces, and then you show them why they should actually care about interviewing you in that third piece. Now, the final piece is where you seal the deal. A lot of people like to conclude their videos like this. Thank you so much for watching my video. I really hope I hear back from you. I really love what you guys are doing in the company, and so I'm really excited to hopefully work with you guys, right? That is a low status, low potential of getting the interview way to conclude your video. the high status. And I hate that, right? I hate status and all that shit, but it's part of life, right? The way that we do close with confidence and gratitude is like this, right? We want to elevate our status, we want to close with expectation, and we want to call to action, right? We want to call whoever's watching this video to action, just like this, right? John, thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm available to connect anytime this week, evenings, after 5 p.m. or whenever suits you. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you and jumping on a call so that we can work together in the near future, right? We want to close with the expectation of two things. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you, right? Not hopefully I hear back from you. Give them some times that work for you, right? I'm available any of these times. I'm looking forward to hearing when works, right? And conclude with the final expectation, right, of can't wait to work with you, right? I'm looking forward to working with you. This is not just setting the expectation of, and you don't need to do this, but this isn't just setting the expectation of I'm looking forward to connecting and jumping on a call, right? It's I'm looking forward to working with you, right? I'm looking forward to being a part of the team. I love the opportunity to work with you guys, right? That's showing, firstly, I'm excited about the opportunity, good energy, right? But secondly, I'm expecting to land this role because I'm just such a great fit, right? And that's going to give me as an interviewer or a recruiter or whoever confidence in you, because it's like, oh shit, I guess this guy's going to be a part of our team, right? That's the way you want to conclude that video. So again, you don't want to follow this as a script or anything like that, but John, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my Loom video. I really appreciate it. I've got any time this week to connect. I'm very, very available. Looking forward to hearing back from you and jumping on and joining the team, right? We conclude like that because that elevates our status, that elevates the expectation. And that way the recruiter, when they finish listening to that video, is going to go, well, shit, I guess I got to interview Jackson. I guess I got to send a meeting link to him to book in with me, right? Rather than, okay, now I'm on to the next one. That was a decent Loom video. Now I'm on to the next one. It's setting an expectation, and that's going to increase your chances. Hopefully, all of this stuff together will increase your chances by probably 4 or 5x of actually landing interviews with businesses. So follow this framework, not script. I know it says script here, but follow this as a framework, right? Follow these 4 pieces as a framework for your Loom videos. This is going to get you a much higher return on your investment of time into recording these videos than anything else will in this space, in my opinion. So thank you for taking the time. Looking forward to hearing how these go. Drop some questions if you have them in the comments, and drop a sub because I'm dropping value all the time. Cheers. One final thing before I actually go, I have dropped in the description this video. It's got a bunch of example Loom videos. It also will link you to a portion of a YouTube video that I have up. I'd highly recommend watching the full video. It gives you everything you need to know about landing roles, but it also has a specific portion in the type linked right here where I talk about Loom videos specifically. So I also go over that, goes over similar things to what I went through in a little bit more and a little bit different detail, I would say. Maybe not more detail, just different detail. So always good to get my perspective from a couple of months ago as well as my perspective from today. But yeah, I'd highly recommend going through these. Some killer Loom videos in here for you to take a look at as well. Cheers.